Okay, so my name's Karl Wallick, and I'm a professor of architecture at the University of Cincinnati. I also work at a local firm called the Drawing Department, and the work I'm going to show you is kind of a mix of my own work, some mix of work with Drawing Department, a mix of kind of work I do on my own, and some other work that I've done at a firm when I was working in Philadelphia. So, and yes, I'm self-conscious, and so I have a fully 7 pages of notes here because I was so afraid that I would have nothing to say. I'm sure I'll discard them halfway through. Let's go ahead and start. Okay, so for me, architecture is a path from the inexplicit to the explicit, and sometimes back again, from the detail to the whole. So another title instead of woodwork would probably be something about 16th scale is half scale is no scale. The detail is a section, a plan, a building. And here we are looking for the building or the question in the accidental and the intentional. Okay, great. So now we're getting to the detail part. In my memory, for me, architecture is not exactly whole. I remember instances, stories, details. I believe that the context of what we do as architects is always fragmentary, that our work can be understood as an infinite matrix rather as complete totalities, but as little moments throughout time, film-like, if you will, and that these details can be disassembled from their constituent buildings and reconstructed as a universe of scaleless moments to be understood over a lifetime of observation, learning, and living. And, okay, so this is the work that I was doing while I was in Philadelphia, and at that time, it was a very exciting time. I was doing exactly what I wanted to do, kind of very finesse ornamentation and over-extreme detailing of projects. And at that time, the family moved back to Cincinnati. It wasn't working out in Philadelphia. We moved back to Cincinnati. I had an opportunity to work with some people on my own, and it was kind of actually quite a scary time because I realized that I knew nothing about architecture all of a sudden. After about 10 years of practice, it's like as a young architect, you're there working, you're untethered for the first time. You have no information, so what the hell do you do? And I realized that rather than the kind of high definition, the high detailed work, that maybe it was a time to think about something a little more simply, that maybe we ought to start a little bit more basic with what's getting to architecture. And I thought, what would be more basic than 2x4s? Next one. And so I thought, let's see how we can kind of push this to the max line. So this is the sort of 2x4 house that was proposed for a project that I worked on with my buddies at the drawing department. And in this case, I guess you could say it wasn't so much the 2x4, but what the 2x4 was doing. The idea of these vertical fins kind of navigating between view and sun, and really, how much can we ask a 2x4 to do anyway? And isn't that sort of the ultimate goal, is how much can you get away with for pretty much the cheapest product that you might be able to find at Lowe's hardware store? So yeah, we know it holds the building up, can it shade the building, can it kind of keep the rain out, can it do all those things? And basically just trying to see, I think probably the sloppy thing about this project, I was looking for some sort of discipline, and that's sort of the idea behind the extreme sort of limitation of the 2x4. And as you can see, it's a project fully in need of disciplining. It's intentionally ambiguous. Sometimes the 2x4 is structural, sometimes it's a shade, sometimes a rain screen, something all or neither. However, all subsumed. Okay, oh my gosh, another project already. So here, I guess I was interested in the idea of, it's about the 2x4, no, it's not about the 2x4. Now we have 2x6s, right? So a really intelligent move for a young architect. I feel like I got the 2x4 thing down now. I'm ready to move to the next size of lumber. And it's built, maybe some of you have gone by it. It's a lumber yard. Yeah, big surprise there. Because they had no budget, of course. And so we thought, well, the wood's free for you guys, right? Or you already have the investment in there. And so it's all about kind of devising a system that, could use kind of the simple products that they already had. And we kind of tried to make it as simple as possible because we didn't really know who was going to build the building. And it turned out they were kind of going to be doing it on the weekends whenever the help was kind of slow. And so the whole idea was, how do we make this system so that it can go up in a beautiful way but still kind of be assembled easily? And so there was one simple rule, really. You can do whatever you want within this system. Here's how many boards you have to split within this dimension. The only rule is you're not allowed to cut anything. And I guess maybe this is just harkening back to the earlier work, wanting to kind of just not being able to resist the idea of nuancing the detail. And so I guess you don't have a lot of the way of detailing maybe on a lumberyard, so it's a little simple solar shade, and well, there's a gutter there, a downspout there. We might as well give it a little bit of ornamentation. Oh, and another project. So I guess if you were going to kind of complain about these early projects, or if you were to critique them, right, because we have to self-critique the work. You say, Karl, it's all well and good to be using 2x4s and 2x6s, and no, I'm not going to go to 2x8s. That's not what it's about. What it's about is that anybody can kind of wrap a project. You can just put any kind of skin on something that you want, and it can turn into a piece of architecture. Karl, when are you going to turn this into a spatial system? So that's a little bit of what this is attempting to do. So using the 2x4s beyond the wrapper, maybe a little bit of a spatial system to divide. The images look really dark to me. Are they really that dark? Okay, so sorry about that. So after that, the next project, since nobody was hiring, the next project was one for the father-in-law, and he wanted a barn, and it was great. It was really a great project. I said, look, I just want a place to park my tractor and my pickup truck. And he said, yeah, but what's your hobby? He said, well, I like to cut wood on the weekends. I said, great, that's all I need to know. So it's actually a project designed around the module of a cord of wood. And I feel embarrassed looking at it now, although I'm proud of it at the same time. Any sort of detail that I put in there, he dropped out. So, the doubling of the wood, to kind of get that fine, that's all gone. But I actually think it's better. He loves it. If the tractor fits in there, okay, that's gone now. This is a project that I really, really want to do very badly. This is, did you guys all know, I never knew that there was a Shaker settlement in nearby Cincinnati. This is a whitewater Shaker settlement, which is an abandoned Shaker farm, kind of near Miami of Ohio. And they're wanting to do a field station out there, kind of like a natural field station. And, well, okay, I'm going to wait. I can't talk about this one anymore. Yeah, I heard that 20 seconds takes forever. Okay, thank God. This is what I really want to do. This is a picnic shelter. I feel like the field station thing, I want to do it badly, but it's kind of like the legit building. And maybe I'd be more comfortable designing things for people to kind of picnic in, to work on some benches. I do like this though because I think it gets at what the other kind of three-dimensional project does. It's a spatial condition, and that's all I really want anyway, is a spatial condition. And maybe it's naive, but can't we at least be a little bit optimistic about what we might do with 2x4s? And I realize we're not supposed to talk about the economy or anything like that, but I think there's plenty of potential out there for everybody. Thank you.